A friend of mine asked me once, he said, do you think America is a racist place? Of course, but every country has like veins of racism like tied into the reason why it feels highlighted is because we've aspired to something different. What happens if we're in a country filled with wildly different kinds of people having totally different life experiences and they share it together? Can that happen? Well, I've lived in New York since 1991, so I've seen it happen.
It's high noon for Billy Crudup and high noon for America. The actor is playing Will Kane, the character made famous by Gary Cooper in the Western film from the 1950s, now adapted for the West End. A tale about courage and cowardice, justice and peace. It was written during the Red Scare, when Hollywood figures were blacklisted for alleged communist ties. It's an era that Crudup feels is all too familiar.
We're finding so many plays right now that have particular relevance. I suppose that happens in times of disorder and corporate greed and misinformation, and it takes moments like these to build the kind of infrastructures that have been dismantled over the past 10, 15 years. There is a line that I have in the play where he says, I've lived my life trying to follow the rules, and I haven't always done well, but I've always tried to come back to it, because the rules are the things that if we don't all collectively agree upon, we will become so disorganized as to make for a destabilized and threatening environment to live in.
Is that what you feel about America today?
Well, I think that's what everybody feels. I'm not even in Minneapolis right now, and I feel destabilized by it. There is no way to look at anything that's been going on in this country for some time now, over 10 years now, that feels like a stable footing. People are scrambling to figure out what the rule of law really is. And without a clear sense of checks and balances, it makes it very difficult for any community that's feeling oppressed, particularly, to feel like they have support.
This film was originally written during the Red Scare. Do you feel like it's almost like America is constantly going through these similar historical cycles?
I do think that this is the most regular state for America. I think it's the way that we were founded, but it does speak to the constant push and pull between those who think they own America and those who want to share American opportunity so as to exploit the best of our potential.
Former presidents like Bill Clinton and Ronald Reagan loved High Noon, and Clinton said that politicians see themselves as Gary Cooper, someone with that courage. Is there a politician out there right now who has that courage?
If you asked people who back Donald Trump, they would say he is Gary Cooper. He's the person who spoke truth to power. He doesn't speak to the values that I hold as an American, so I would not put him in that role. To your question of who do I follow to promote those ideas, it's not entirely clear right now.
Crudup is known for his scene-stealing performances, like recently in the film J. Kelly alongside George Clooney.
How are you doing? Well, that's a stupid question. You're doing great.
I'm all right.
Audiences perhaps know him best as Corey Ellison in The Morning Show.
Hope is getting tired, and you got a rock in your hand. All that's left to do is bludgeon that poor beast to death.
And Crudup is bringing that character's energy and urgency to his own politics.
I've always actually felt that America's primary virtue is the aspirational one for a more perfect union, the acceptance of the idea that as an incredibly powerful nation, we have some kind of agency. And if we use that agency to promote one another, we have such a fundamentally incredible advantage to promote entire communities.
Does Hollywood still have a place, as well as actors in general, to speak out about this? Because I guess some might say that that world was very critical and very vocally critical of Donald Trump in his first term. Do you think in some ways that voice, some are afraid to speak out?
As soon as you opened your mouth, you were described as a Hollywood liberal elite. I certainly have a lot of Democratic points of view, but I registered Republican when I was 18. I've lived in Dallas, I've lived in Florida, I've worked in nearly every state in America. I consider myself about as American a person as you can have. To feel marginalized like that when I have somehow ascended to the point that you would film me, it makes me furious. I mean, why am I being interviewed right now? I don't have any idea. You're gonna have to tell me that. Your bosses are gonna have to tell you why they want me on. The people who are watching are going to have to explain why they're watching. So for some reason, I have a platform. I don't know why, to marginalize my voice because of the work that I do when I've been given a platform for reasons that are not totally apparent to me. Seems silly.
Billy Crudup, thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thanks a lot, man.